I'm here today with Marita Vidal, the owner of Bloo Lagoon. And I happened to come early to this meeting, and I enjoyed what I think is one of the best snorkeling beach, and it's kind of a secret small snorkeling beach in Bali, really competing with Ahmed, and it's called Bloo Lagoon Beach. And I was wondering whether you picked up that name, Bloo Lagoon, and just played on the words, or it's the opposite. And how did that? Who started the blue thing?
This little beach was here way before us.
Okay.
And it's Bloo Lagoon, and we wanted to name our place Bloo Lagoon, BLUE, of course. But then we found out that BlooLagoon.com is already taken by a spa in Iceland.
Ah, interesting.
So we decided, well, what about BLOO? And that actually was what generating our logo, which is like 4 blue dots.
Yeah, we can see them everywhere. It's kind of easy to recognize. So, Marita, I have a lot of questions, but tell us general information about Bloo Lagoon for our members who don't necessarily know your place. Tell us all about the fact sheets.
So the facts is it's 24 houses that we have built in 1.5 hectares, and these houses are supported by one restaurant, a spa, the swimming pool, which is like the heart of the place, and a farm where we grow our organic produce for the restaurant. The houses are really the structure of the houses is made in wood, and this is a prefabricated structure, so they are very quick to put up, and the length of the wood is really given by what we can take out of the tree, so that's a very standard modular system. And the roofs are made of alang-alang, which is like totally natural and recyclable material, and also very good insulation. All this means that the houses are also very open, and we let the air flow, and that way we minimize the use of air conditioning. The materials are very simple. We keep the spaces open because in the tropics,
What can happen
when you enclose, then you get all the bugs inside. So all our surfaces are terrazzo, concrete, stone floors, and it's all like our floor here.
Earthy materials.
Yes, we don't even seal them. So this floor will be like one day like a French castle.
Marita, people tend to say that this place looks like a village.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to me how can you feel in a village being in a resort?
Well, I think what we tried to do in the beginning is a combination of a model actually that works for everybody involved. So we have the staff, the guests, and we have also another very important component, which is the homeowners of the houses.
So each home, or almost each home, is owned by a different homeowners, and
Yes.
they are lovers of Bali. I mean,
Yes.
you dropped some names of famous owners of those places, so it is like a family, right?
Yeah,
It's,
so basically what we did is, because we, when we embarked upon this big project, we didn't have all the money to make it happen. So rather than having investors who demand a return on investment or a bank, we sold all the houses we need to complete the investment. And then the people who buy, have a vested interest in, and they start belonging to a community. Then homeowners meet here, and then they meet somewhere else. We've gone around Europe visiting our homeowners, and the same thing happens with the guests. People make friends, and it becomes more of a community. Then once you have this community effect, then everybody can cooperate on a solution. That also influences the staff, because they know that the people who are here are also, in a way related to them. They will keep seeing them.
I met quite a few owners over the years, and yeah, I really feel that there is a sense of belonging to the place. So, I mean, Marita, tell us about why people love this place. I mean, I'm going to do something that I don't usually do, but I'm going to just play with the camera and show you guys the setting of this interview. Look at that. And that's kind of view you get from your room. So not bad. So the way the place is, I mean, geographically, you've got like almost a 200 degrees surrounding by the sea, right?
It's a bit of a point. So the houses over there face the bay. These face out to sea, and over there they face Chandidasa, and over there you have Mount Agung.
And we're completely on the east side.
On the
so
east side.
this
And
is
on
a
that-
sunrise hotspot. I mean, the sunrise here, if you're early risers, quite catch the sun before everyone else. You got the spot. Amazing snorkeling. I mean, I went snorkeling before, as I mentioned. It's millions of fishes, and it's fairly clean sea. So I really enjoyed it. What would be the other reasons of people? You told me a lot of repeating guests, right?
I think the key, and this is also the reason why we call it a village, is because we are inclusive. I mean, families come here, single people come here, couples, and they're all welcome in the same way by the staff, who are very friendly. And like our pool, which is like the hub of the place, you have a little sort of shallow area, ideal for babies. There's the fastest slide in I mean, this is Alex's experience. Very fast slide for the pre-teenagers, and then you have a place for laps.
I also have a cave with some monsters.
yes,
I mean, my
too.
kids keep coming back for the cave. So
There's
it's
a
a really
cave.
playful, and they have this kind of glass windows underwater, so you can take those funny shots from the outside of the pool. So pretty cool.
And the staff really, you know how the Balinese are, but what we try to do here with our staff is to teach them, but to never let them lose that spontaneity. So it's not, that sort of standard line, we have to ask this and ask that. No, they're just, but of course, they're informal, but they know their job.
Regarding the room, one thing that is quite striking is the seclusion. I mean, as much as it's one resort, you don't see your neighbors. I mean, it's really, you optimize the sea view, and you never feel, you feel quite isolated from everybody.
Well, I mean, being on a hill, we positioned the houses so they all have view, but of course we said, okay, this shape here, this 2 bedrooms, 2-story, whatever there, and then we make privacy with planting or walls or whatever, and we just try to build the minimum so you can really screen it so you feel totally secluded, but you don't lose the view.
One thing I read on checking your reviews on TripAdvisor is how much people love the spiritual activities in East Bali. I mean, it seems to be quite a high selling point, like there's a lot going on, and you make a point to communicate it quite well to the guests. You want to tell us about it?
Yes, it's still a very traditional part of Bali, and there are some unique villages, like the Tenganan village, which is like, they call themselves like Aga village, which is like before the Balinese came. That's how they describe themselves, and they have their own ways and traditions, and they weave a very, very interesting textile called a double ikat, and which is just like, it takes forever, but the pieces are amazing, and they use that for ceremonies, and we have a connection with them, so they tell us when there's going to be one of these amazing ceremonies, and we like to take our guests there because it's only 20 minutes away, and it's very important, we think, for people who come to Bali to experience the culture, because it's really unique, and it's you have very good opportunity since we're here. And Padang Bai, even Padang Bai has amazing ceremonies. So it's just a matter of adding that extra layer of meaning to one's vacation.
Fantastic, fantastic. And you have a lot of great things happening. I know maybe East Cashew Bali's. There is I learned earlier there is a chocolate factory owned by a guy named Charlie. I mean, how amazing that is that? And his factory is on the beach,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
you've got quite a few interesting businesses. And Bali Asli is there, not too far. So
Yes.
amazing cooking classes and amazing restaurant. I really enjoy recommending to friends.
There are also very interesting water temples, and 2 weeks ago I went to Tirthaganga with a group, and we swam in the pools. It's all spring water,
Wow.
and it's just fantastic.
Wow. Marita, you have to promise me you're going to send me all this list and I can put them in the notes. So you'll have all the links to all those great places to visit, whether it's those businesses we mentioned or those natural beauties and temples. So a lot to see there. Marita, I'm always curious to know a little bit about the people behind the business. Can you tell us about, you don't sound British, you don't sound English.
No.
What's that accent?
I'm from Argentina,
Okay.
and but I've lived in California 30 years, and that's where I met my husband and partner. And
Tony, right?
Yes, he is British, but he started a sort of nomadic life very, very early on. So he's been all over the place, and he is really the man with a vision. But I'm good at getting things done.
Yeah.
So it's a good combination. And he always liked Bali, and then we started our project in Ubud, but then we found this amazing piece of land, so we decided to go for it.
You own also the tea house. Tea, if you know Ubud, is a great. They have more houses for monthly rentals, and it's called the tea house, right?
Yes. Same concept, but because it's close to Ubud, we don't have restaurant or spa. It's just houses, groups of houses, but it's the same sense of community.
When did you start Blue Lagoon? When did it all start?
We leased the land in 2006, and then we built the houses very fast speed in 2 years. So it was like a house a month.
Wow.
For 2 years, and then of course it's never finished, but
I mean,
almost.
All our members are somehow very interested in sustainability. So I'm always curious to know your views on the topic, but also what you are doing. Maybe can we go through some of your practices here?
Yes.
Let's start with the swimming pool. What do you use for the pool?
We use ionization system, which it's I'm not familiar with the technical details, but I know it's like a metal copper anode, and the algae just stick to the copper anode, and that minimizes the use of chlorine.
Okay.
And
you have a permaculture garden.
Yes, so we have this farm in almost Fort Tiara,
Wow.
and it's rocky and it's challenging because this is a very dry part of Bali, but we recycle all our water from runoff and sinks and showers, and we built a series of catchment ponds, and that cascade down and then get pumped up to the top, and then we use that water for irrigation. All the ponds are full of plants and fish, so by the time we use it for irrigation, it's clear water.
Okay.
It's not for drinking, but it's good enough. But for now, we're just using PDAM, and of course we use our water gallons, and we do not sell water in bottles, in plastic bottles.
Good.
We do not. So we don't generate. I mean, sometimes people bring plastic bottles with them when they come, but we do not generate that kind of plastic, at least. And then the other thing we do is, like, very early on we started using LED lights. So it was a bit dim in the beginning because they were experimental, but the technology has been getting better. So and we don't, sort of like our house is not really bright. I mean, it's just you get used to this sort of level of light that lets you see other things, the stars at night and these wonderful alang-alang roofs, that kind of thing. So we try to introduce nature. Really, we live with nature.
It's really a place for nature lovers. I mean, the bird watching is incredible. It's really hundreds of seagulls passing by. The fact that the design is quite minimalist, it leaves space for your mind to wander and be intrigued by what you see around. I see you have a quite spacious yoga sala. Do you run retreats?
Yes, we do retreats, and we also have morning yoga, so every day at 7:30.
Oh, I'm going diving tomorrow, so I'm going to miss that. But there's also diving is quite incredible. There are great diving shops and diving spots around here. Here we can even see turtles just down there, so it's pretty special. Give us some of your tips on how to run a successful yoga retreat. All our members, most of them own somehow either a hotel that runs retreats or retreat centers. What's working well for you as a retreat organizer?
Well, we give the support to the yoga organizers. I mean, in the sense of allocation of rooms is very important, and food, requirements, and accommodates them, like they want pillows, they want this or that, and then they have to feel free that if they book most of the villas, then they feel like they're really own the place. And the yoga deck is there, they put their things, they go, it's just very easy for them to feel at home here.
Up to how many people can join a retreat here?
I would say that maximum 30.
30.
I would say 25 is probably more comfortable, but up to 30, yes.
Great. Is there anything else you'd like to share with everyone?
Yeah, I would like to say that this has been an amazing experience for me in my life, and it's of course the day-to-day running is always a little bit, you get frustrated with things, but it's just extremely rewarding.
One thing we didn't mention, Marita, is one of the key words when we go around and experience this place is art. And that's probably Tony's input, right?
Yes.
Tell us a bit about maybe a bit about Tony and a bit about how art integrates in the resort. I think you have an artist in residence at the moment.
Yes, we of course, I mean, Bali is all about art. Of course, it's for them, it's all for the gods. But I mean, it's everywhere you look, there's something artistic. I mean, I don't know if you can see this, but this is what we get every day on our table. And Tony thought, well, we should dedicate space for artists, and especially for young Indonesian artists who don't have a venue to show their work, and they're trying to create their identity as artists. And so we have shows, and our calendar is between the shows. We have artists in residence.
Marita, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. I invite you. Can you give us the address of your website?
BlooLagoon.com.
BlooLagoon.com with 2 O in blue. Or of course, you can check it on BookGreener.com. Thank you everyone for listening and watching this show. I invite you to check out Bloo Lagoon next time you're on your way, because we didn't mention it, but it's actually on the way to the Gillies. It's where the ferries are leaving from, so it's impossible to miss a stop at Bloo Lagoon. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Marita. Bye.
Thank you.